Showing up on social media as just yourself, as opposed to showing up as a coach, is two totally different things. But a lot of times we can get really confused about the best way to approach it. The good news is you don't have to try to figure it out alone. In today's video, I'm going to share 5 simple strategies that you can begin to incorporate as soon as today to show up and stand out as the coach you know you're called to be. So the first strategy to show up and stand out on social media as a coach is to really consider the images that you have in the bio and the message that's sending. The reality is, just like if we were meeting someone face to face, your first impression is something you can never get a second chance at. And so people's first impression of you is your profile. What does your profile picture say? If you're using like Facebook or something, what does your cover photo look like? What does your bio say? So if your cover photo looks like a 5-year-old drew it, it's probably not really going to appeal to people. If your profile picture is blurry, that also may not appeal to people. What about if your profile picture is a random quote or a random stock photo? That can also be confusing. As it relates to your bio, you want to make sure that your bio explains exactly what it is, what type of coach you are, and what you do. If someone were to get on your page and you're like, I'm a Jesus lover, mother of 2, and love reading, that's wonderful. Those are amazing facts about you. But what about what it is that you do as a coach? A lot of times they may mistake that and think it's just a personal profile and not really understand that it's actually your business and coaching profile as well. So you want to make sure that you think of a really concise way to explain what you do and also sound relatable. So you could say something like, I'm a Jesus lover and Bible reader and love to coach people at using the Bible to find their purpose, right? So you're still incorporating your passions and your desires, but you're also talking about what type of coach you are. If you're on multiple social media platforms, you're going to want to make sure that you have the same bio across the board. That's so important because if on Facebook it says one thing, on Instagram it says something totally different, and then on LinkedIn it says something totally different, that can also be really confusing for those that are interested in learning more about you. As it relates to your profile picture, a lot of times we can get really overwhelmed. Like, well, I don't have any good photos of myself. Here's the reality. One of the photos that I got the most likes on was when I was beginning my business. My brother was getting married and I just looked really nice at his wedding. He had a beautiful scenery and I asked my mom to snap a few photos. She snapped 1 or 2 photos and I really liked the setting. And so I asked her to snap a few more. She must have snapped about 25 pictures. And out of that, I found 5 pictures that I absolutely loved. And I began to share those on my timeline with different posts as my profile picture and got amazing feedback from that. And since then, if I'm halfway decent, if I'm dressed up, I'll ask someone to take a picture of me. I may be in a restaurant, I may be in a library, wherever I may be. If it's a good setting, there's good lighting, and I look decent, I'll snap a picture. And the cool thing is, you don't have to have some fancy world-renowned camera to make that happen. All you need is somebody there willing to take a picture and your phone, because most smartphones now have pretty dope cameras. You can also use editing software if you want to edit and, fix the picture up a little bit, or you can use Canva, which can help you use different templates, creating a cover photo using your picture or creating an appealing image using your photo. So there's great tools, but don't allow yourself to just say, no, I don't want to do it because I don't have a fancy camera. You can literally start off with your phone and that will get a great start on your journey, because remember, you're the face of your business. People want to know who you are and who's behind this offer. So you want to make sure that you're showing yourself as well. Which brings me to my second strategy, which is using live video. Live videos are all the rave because videos are really engaging. Research says that there's 8 billion videos being viewed every single day, which means that people connect with video. People connect with other people through video. That's why YouTube is so popular. But what I'm learning is that live videos, in the moment videos, are actually converting better than pre-recorded videos, because people get an opportunity to see you stutter over your word. They get an opportunity to see you pull yourself together. They get to see your funny little quirks, and they just get to walk with you through the process. And so if you're one of those people that's really anxious or overwhelmed with live video, I'll give you some strategies that will help you show up and show out as the coach you know you're called to be. So first things first is take the pressure off of yourself, knowing that people expect there to be errors when you're doing live videos. That's just natural. We're human. We're going to say things that are off, and we can fix it and we can adjust. Second thing is just make sure you have good lighting. People want to be able to see you. Third strategy is create a script or bullet points that can help to keep you on track so that you know where you're going and what you're talking about and what the purpose is, right? And then the fourth strategy is practice. No matter what, I could give you a million different strategies. You are going to be a little bit anxious and nervous the first few times you do it. But after you do it a couple times, you get people engaged, you enjoy it, you get more comfortable with it, it doesn't become as heavy of a load, right? So one of the things that I always recommend is practicing before you go live. Whether you want to practice in front of your kids or practice in the mirror or get on social media. I used to get on social media and just go live for 2 minutes and then hurry up and get off, right? And I built myself up to now if I go live for 45 minutes, I don't really know the difference, right? Because I built myself into that. It's so important to actually organically go live. A lot of times we think that if we just pre-record a video and upload it, or if we upload it to YouTube and share the link, it'll work. But the way the algorithms work is they're less likely to show that than if you were to just do a native live video, like literally on that platform. So I'm challenging you to choose to go live. I think the more you practice it, the more you'll learn to actually really love it. So the third strategy is to be intentional about what you post. If I can be really honest with you, the biggest mistake that I see a lot of coaches make is that they share other people's content. Now, don't get me wrong. It's great to occasionally share a really awesome and relatable quote. It's wonderful to support another coach that you really admire. But if you're constantly sharing other people's content, where does that leave you to showcase your expertise? So if you feel like you want to say something about something, say it. Create your own quotes. Create your own content. And if you must share somebody else's quote, share why that's relatable to your audience from your viewpoint. This allows you to share your expertise and your authority on that particular topic, which is so important if you want people to look at you as knowledgeable, as experienced, as worthy of being trusting, right? You want people to look at you that way. And so you have to stand out and stand up that way and show up that way. As we're talking about lives and posting, it's going to be so important to do step number 4, which is to give a call to action. This is another setback that I see a lot of coaches making or getting in their own way in this regard. A lot of times we give a ton of information, but with no application. So tell your audience, what are they supposed to do with that amazing statistic you just shared? What are they supposed to do with those amazing tips that you just gave them? Should they get on your wait list for the opening for your coaching program? Should they direct message you or DM you to talk about how to jump on a one-on-one call? Do you have a website that you can send them to? Are you challenging them to commit to the strategies and come back and let you know how they were? Are you challenging them to join you next week as you continue to expand on that in your next live? Let them know what their next steps are. People need that. People want to know what next steps they should take, because it is great if you give them as much information in the world, but if you're not teaching them how to apply it, it serves no one. And I know a lot of people can get overwhelmed with this part of the process, but remember, your job is to serve, right? You want to be able to serve your audience, but you can't serve them if you're only giving them little breadcrumbs, hoping that eventually they can piece it together. Let them know what those next steps are. Make it obvious and make it easily accessible so that they're ready to take that next step. And then step number 5 actually can kind of relate to step number 4, but it's also an amazing strategy to use with any posting or any live or anything like that. But that's giving freebies. A lot of times we don't understand the concept of the know, like, and trust factor, which basically says before someone is going to invest with you, really anything, they're going to need to know you, like you, and trust you. And the best way to do that is to allow people to get in your space, to allow people to get in your energy, to allow people to connect with you on a deeper level when there's no risk really for them. And then they get an opportunity to see what value you bring. So maybe you choose to do a free challenge. Maybe you're going to choose to do a free live series. Maybe you're going to choose to do a free webinar. Maybe you have a free PDF guide or a free training that you can offer your audience. Using this is a great practice and a great tool to get people to be brought into what you have to offer, to see the expert you are. And here's what I know: when you offer somebody something for free that's extremely valuable, now they're thinking, wow, I got this for free. What could I get for paid? And as we talked about those call to action steps, this is a perfect example of a call to action. You could say, well, now that we're done with this live, join my free service here and offer that free, whatever it may be, that free call or that free upcoming training for them to take that next step. So for example, if you're a financial coach and you do a live video on social media about the 3 signs that your money mindset is in your way, you gave them great tools to check in with themselves, to ask themselves, is my money mindset in my way? Now, what's the next step? Is that next step jumping on a call with you so that they can offer this opportunity to see how you as a money manifestation and mindset coach can help them to break free of that barrier? Do you have an upcoming webinar that you can offer them that helps them understand the law of attraction and how that can help support them at breaking free of those money blocks? What is that next step? And really solidifying and highlighting that is going to be key. Research says that 79% of the population is on social media. That is a huge percentage of people. If you think of like little baby children and older adults who don't want anything to do with it, that means the bulk of people in middle ages are on social media, which also means that there is a very high likelihood that you're going to find your potential clients on social media. And if you are not maximizing social media, if you are not using it to your advantage, you're really negatively impacting your success as a coach. So what I'm going to challenge you to do today is no more excuses, no more exceptions. I'm going to challenge you to start to commit to some of these strategies, and not tomorrow, not someday, not when it's convenient, not when all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, but I'm going to ask you to start committing to this as soon as today. As soon as this video is over, head on over to your social media profile and see what your picture looks like. Can you take a really nice picture in a park today? Head over to your social media profile and see what your bio is like. Can you adjust your bio so that your ideal clients know exactly what it is that you have to offer? Head over to your social media and jump on and do your very first live. Feel the fear and do it anyways. These are just some examples, but I need you to commit to at least one strategy that you can show up for so that you can show up and step into that next level version of that coach that you know you are called to be. If you're looking for more tools and more support on your coaching success journey, I have just the thing for you. You can get my totally free Get Your Next Paid Client Now bundle using the link below, where I'll teach you to increase your magnetism so that in turn you can increase your impact and your income. Use the link below to join us, and I look forward to seeing you there.